Hello! Welcome back for another episode of the Mel-Tran Designs podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry and clerk on Instagram. I'm Mel-Tran Designs. There's also a Ravelry group called Mel-Tran Designs, and we have a Facebook group as well. Please join us over there. Quinn's over here making noises. It's been a long time since I podcasted. It is December 17th, 2014. And in the interim of me not podcasting, it was actually my 2-year, podiversary, I guess. Even though I've only really done barely over a year's worth if I were to have recorded every week. um, anyway, as you can tell, I'm a little stuffed up. I don't know if it's a cold or a sinus infection. I can't quite tell. It just kind of came on. And they both have similar symptoms, so I'm treating it with Dayquil because that kind of covers, both sets of symptoms. And anyway, so I'm stuffy, but feeling a little better than yesterday. But anyway, welcome back to returning viewers. Welcome new viewers. Thank you for your patience in waiting for another podcast. Here in a second, when I get into happenings these last 3 weeks, you'll understand why I didn't record at least last week, because I try to do it at least every other week. But anyway, I'm sure Quinn will be making an appearance at some point, so I'm going to try and talk fast. Plus, I'm picking my kids up from school, and so I need to have time to finish all this and everything. So anyway, since I last recorded, it was Thanksgiving here in the U.S., and that was fun. We went over with Jake's extended family in the afternoon, and then that night we went over with my dad and sisters and brother-in-law, and did a small Thanksgiving there. Jake is part of a really big family. His dad is one of 8 kids. And we were actually, our little family and his younger brother and his wife were the only ones that represented Jake's dad's set of people. But it was small this year with only like 40 people. Yeah, last year I think they said there were like 75 or 80, and that wasn't even the whole family. So yeah, it's usually pretty crazy. It was kind of nice having it a little smaller this year because I got to talk to most of the people there, and anyways, it wasn't quite as chaotic, and so that was a lot of fun. And with my family, it's always small because it's just my sisters and myself, and neither of them have kids, and only one of them's married. So it's my family alone has more people than my dad and sisters and brother-in-law. We double, we more than double the group. So anyway, but it's always nice just to, get together with the group of us, which, I mean, we're together every week during football season anyway for the BSU games, but it was nice. And yeah, we got the leftover, well, we didn't get the leftover turkey meat, but my dad let me bring home the bones and the carcass. There was a lot of meat that had stuck to the bones, so I actually made I was going to make turkey noodle soup, but I decided to do rice instead, so I boiled it down and, got the meat all off the bones and added some, I had a package from Trader Joe's that was a wild rice mixture. I think it had some couscous and stuff in it too. No, I can't remember. Maybe not. No, that was something else. The wild grain. Oh, shoot. I don't remember what it's called. It's a wild rice mixture. If you've gone to Trader Joe's, you might know what I'm talking about. I just don't know the actual name. Anyway, sorry. My head's a little cloudy. I did take medicine, but I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else related to that. I don't think there is. But what happened right after that leads into why I wasn't able to podcast last week. Well, I can't say I wasn't able to. I probably really could have forced the time, but I was adjusting to a new schedule. I got a job. So it's in the evenings, Monday through Thursday. I say evenings. It goes from like 5 to midnight. There is a new restaurant here in town. Some of you might have heard of it. It's called Freddy's. It's not a sit-down restaurant, but it's not technically fast food either. I'll explain it to you for those of you who haven't heard of it. It's Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers, and it's amazing. The food is amazing, and the frozen custard, which all of you who are in like the Midwest and stuff, you know about the amazingness of frozen custard. People in the West don't know about it. We've never experienced it, and I don't want to go into the whole story about it. Shortened version, the timing was perfect. I had talked to Jake about possibly picking up a part-time job in the evenings to help us get out of debt faster. As you all know, we're doing the Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover. He said, sure, that's fine. So I hadn't really looked seriously, and for my anniversary dinner, did I talk about this in the last podcast? I don't know, so I'll talk about it anyway. Jake and I were going to go to Freddy's. I had seen one over in Meridian, which is the town next to me. It's the first one in Idaho. I saw it, and it says Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers, and I was like, what? Both of those in the same place? Okay. So I called Jake and asked him if he'd heard of it. He hadn't heard about it. So we decided to go on our anniversary dinner there. Well, he ended up getting invited to go to the BSU game that same night, and I was like, yeah, we're going to be married for 12 years for a whole year, so you go and freeze your butt off at the game because it's supposed to be 3 degrees. You go freeze, and I will go to Freddy's. So my sisters and brother-in-law, my cousins who were in town, all of us went to my anniversary dinner without Jake. And we were blown away with the food and the custard and just everything. And a friend of, well, he became a friend of mine as well. He went to school with my sisters and was friends with them. And then we ended up becoming friends later on. Sorry, I'm messing with my hair. Anyway, so he said that they were going to be opening one up here in Nampa, which is the city that I live in. A little bit bigger than a town, I guess. And so I decided to apply. As soon as he said that, I had the thought in my head of, this is going to be where I work. This is going to be my job. So he gave me an application. I filled it out, and he actually came and picked it up from me and turned it in because I wasn't sure where to turn it in. Lisa just is texting me. I'm going to tell her that I'm podcasting right now. I'm podcasting, and you're text bombing me. She actually is asking how my new job's going as I'm talking about it. So, anyway, hi Lisa. All right, back to that. So, he came in and picked it up from me because I wasn't sure where to turn it in because the Nampa one wasn't open yet, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to the Meridian one, I'll just take it in for you. I said, all right, saves me a trip. It's like 6-7 miles. Anyway, so they called me a few days later. You know, it was after Thanksgiving. They called and set up an interview, and I got hired right then. They had to hire like 80 people, which was cool. So then I started. So I got hired Monday, and I started Friday. So the week after Thanksgiving, on that Friday, I had orientation. The store wasn't open yet, so I had orientation Friday, and then we had training Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday we opened. And they told us that usually when people do training, they train for 10 days. And we did all of that in really 3 days, because the 4th day, Tuesday, was what they call VIP day, where all of us get to come in and eat and bring one person with us. And we got to eat for free, which was cool. Oh, well, 2 people. I lied. We got to bring 2 people with us. So since I work night shift, I went during the day. Jake got permission to work from home that day. So I took him and Eli before Eli had to go to school. And anyways, it was a lot of fun. So there's the short version of it. I'm going to tell you about the company, whether you want to hear it or not. because it's my podcast and I can. It was started in Wichita, Kansas by this gentleman named Freddie and his sons. He's a World War II vet. He was shot twice in the war, and he wanted to open up a fast food place that wasn't your typical fast food. He wanted quality food like you would get in a sit-down restaurant, but he wanted you to get it quickly. And he was known all around by his family and all this for making custard and cooking for them. And so he took kind of his recipes and turned it into a restaurant. And he just planned on having like 1 or 2 in the Kansas, Wichita area. And it franchised. And right now we are store number 130, 133. And she says to carry on. And there are 400 in the plant, in the workings. There's one in almost every state. The man whose company owns ours actually owns all of them in Arizona, owns the one in Utah, but there will be 26 eventually, owns the 2 in Idaho that will turn into 13 eventually, and Wyoming and Montana as well. So it's an amazing company. It's steak burgers, so you're not getting some regular ground beef burger. You're getting ground sirloin, which is awesome. Made when you order it. You will not get your burger out of a drawer like you will at other places. The only warmer that we have in the whole place is for fries when you pull them out and put them there, and the maximum time they can sit there is 2 minutes. And we have those awesome little shoestring fries. Awesome and amazing. And we put Freddy seasoning on them. So good. And sorry, she's playing with a toy, and I hope it's not too loud. I can't actually tell how loud I'm talking because my ears are kind of plugged up. So hopefully I'm loud enough for you. If not, I'm really sorry. So what I love as an Idaho girl is that the potatoes that we use for the fries, the people that we order the fries from, is Simplot. And if you've ever had an Idaho potato, there's a good chance it came from Simplot. So I love that we're in Idaho actually using Idaho potatoes. So anyway, yeah, the custard, oh my gosh. It's made in this awesome machine. I'm doing this because it's like right here in my head. There's this machine that creates the chocolate and the vanilla frozen custard, and then we can put it in a sundae or do what's called the concrete, which is like a Blizzard at Dairy Queen, but better. I'm just giving you an example or like a McFlurry at McDonald's. Anyways, where you mix the toppings into it, but way better because it's frozen custard. Hello. I actually had a man the other night come in and he had a sample and he says, "Is this fattening?" I said, "Of course, it's good, isn't it?" Because the difference between custard and ice cream is that custard has more eggs, more sugar, real cream, like high quality cream, and oh my gosh, creamy lusciousness. If you've never had it, go find it somewhere and get it. So anyway, if you ever want to check out the company or see if there's one close to you, it's freddysusa.com with a Y, FREDDYS, USA.com. Anyway, so there you go. I am Monday through Thursday nights, 5 to close mostly, and I've been doing the math, and it's going to get us out of debt years faster. And yeah, so it's been fun. I'm not gonna lie. I would never work normal fast food. This is not normal fast food. You get customer service, you get real quality food, you get your food fast, but you get sit down restaurant quality. I mean, it's just it's not like any fast food place they actually call it fast casual. So anyway, I'm gonna take a drink here really quick. Now that I've taken up 14 minutes, I have other stuff to talk about. This is what happens when it goes for 3 weeks. But all that being said, that's a lot of knitting time cut out. So yeah, I'm really going to be leaning on my husband and kids to be cleaning the house so I can maybe actually knit a little bit. You want a sequin? Okay. I'm going to move this as smoothly as possible. Na 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 na. Are you talking? Hi, na na na. She's like, what is this thing you're holding in front of my face? Quinna Winnie! Hi! Can you say hi? Yeah. So there you go. She turned 6 months old last Friday. Didn't you? Yeah. You're a big 6-month-old. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's get this back over here. My hair today is a little weird. I have not straightened it, and I'm not going to because, like I said, I have... Yeah. Because I have to go to work later. And I put my hair... I have to wear a baseball cap, so I just put my hair in pigtails down low, and so there's no point in straightening it. And it all kind of flipped out the same, so I just threw a hat on. Okay. Let's get into the knitting, shall we? No, hold on. Going on / coming up. Reverse that. The year of the Q is finishing. Finally. Yay! Have a couple weeks. And nothing else from my Q is going to be knit. And oh, shoot. Dang it. I just realized that I don't have an FO sitting here. That I totally FO'd. I'm going to look right. Hold on. Aha. Yay, it's here. I have it. Don't fret. Oh, and there's another one that Cayenne has in her backpack, I think. Yep. So you're not going to see that one. See, this is what happens when I go so long. I forget what I've made. All right. Anyways, the year of the Q has been fun, and I've enjoyed it, and I'm not doing it again. Not doing anything that, year long, like I said before, except for piggybacking off of some cows. I'm messing with my cowl here. Here, Queenie. Here. So, yeah, finish up anything off of your queue and post pictures. And we'll be ready to move on to some other stuff. Nothing particular is going on in January. I'm going to work on some things that I will be doing for my future classes so I can get a head start on them. Yeah, and then in February and March, Lisa, Fiber Nymph, and I are co-hosting a color work knit along, and I'm going to attempt to make a sweater while working. We'll see if that happens. Because I don't work on the weekends, I'm hoping I can get a lot of knitting done. So, yeah. Sorry, she keeps... Here you go. There. Are you getting tired? I think she's getting tired. Here you go. Yeah. She's getting tired. And so if anybody asks, this is my Polar Vortex hat made out of the Fiber Nymph Dye Works Cozy Base. And it's pumpkin orange, pumpkin spice, pumpkin orange, I think. Pumpkin? Yeah. Anyway, it's my pattern I came out with, I don't know, last winter, called Polar Vortex. Yeah. There you go. All right. I know I'm jumping around all crazy like. I'm doing my best. My brain is, like I said, my brain's a little crazy and fried, and I have a child here making noises. Yeah, I'm talking about you. All right, so I'm just going to grab stuff and show you. And I'm going to do FOs first, I think, just because I have it in on my lap and stuff. This was a test knit that I was doing. It's the Dominoes cowl. It's just some very basic 2-color stranded color work. The blue-green is a hand spun that I did, and the white is some yarn that a gal that I know gets milled from her own merino sheep. And then the inside of the cowl is genius. It is ribbing, And the pattern actually calls for the white to carry on, but I didn't have enough white, and I had a ton of the blue and green and wanted to use it. And so I used that for the inside. And what's so great is that the ribbing helps to pull it in and keep it nice and snug on you. I actually did one extra pattern repeat because I wanted to be able to have it up a little higher on me. And Anansi actually broke it in for me. She was really not feeling well and had a fever and was cold, really cold. And so she put this on and then slept in it, and I think she wore it for like 2 days straight. And then when her fever broke, she's like, oh, she had like 3 coats on, and it was pretty funny. Instead of covering up with a blanket like most normal people would do, she just like kept putting clothes on. So she threw this off and hasn't worn it since, but she wants one. So hers would not be made out of hand spun or especially milled fiber. Hers would be made out of totally washable, super wash stuff. So I would like to make her one. I don't know that I will. Someday maybe. I don't know. I'm overwhelmed with what I want to knit and how little knitting time I have now. So anyway, adjustments, right? So that's done. I don't remember the gal's name that designed it, and it hasn't been released yet. It's not set to be released until the middle of January, but I will let you know. I'm telling you now, I'll let you know. If I forget, please ask me later, and I will link you to it. I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on. I showed this in my last podcast. I even tied here. Starting at this light green, I had only this much done. This is an infinity cowl for my mother-in-law. Yeah. Oh, that's great. She just spit up. Made out of Fiber Nymph Dye Works Sunshine Base. It's one of her gradients. It's the King's Cross colorway, and so I did it back and forth. I did a provisional cast on, and so we got all the way through the light gray. I'm the one that did the knitting. I got all the way through the light green. I think I said gray there. And then it went into the darker green. And then towards the end, I did get into the darkest color there. I wanted to either only use 2 colors or use more of the third, but when I tried it on, it was at the point where I needed to stop. Like I really needed to stop. So you can see it's about to my waist. When I just put it on once, and then it's nice and bunchy and cozy, and that's why I did a garter stitch base. I didn't want to have anything that she would have to block, and this she doesn't have to. She can just wash it and dry it, or lay it out to dry, or whatever, and you can play with it a little bit. She doesn't like things up really close, like turtlenecky type things, and so anyway, I haven't played with it a lot, but she'll love it, and she gets cold easily, so anyway, that's done, and it's a pattern that I am going to put out, and it's going to be free because this is so basic that I would feel guilty charging for it. So this is the Infinity Cowl version. You could easily just make a scarf by not joining it in the round. You could make it a Mobius by doing it flat, doing a half turn and joining it. I decided against that in case she did just want to put it on, or use it to kind of cover her shoulders. And I know you can use a Mobius like that too, but I just didn't want to do it as a Mobius, so there. But see, it could easily be a little bit of a shoulder cover as well, which is nice. So anyway, there you go. I really enjoyed working with this base. It's nice and soft. It hasn't been washed yet, just because I haven't washed it yet. But anyway, so there you go. Like I said, I will be putting it out. It's an easy 6-row repeat that anybody could do in their sleep practically. So there's that. All right, sorry. I'm going to take another drink really quick. My ears haven't been plugged up before now, so of course now is when it would happen. Okay, next is my Miranda sweater. This one's kind of finished. I'll show it to you and explain. I'm done with everything but the hood. It's all been done for a while. The sweater fits me fine right now over a t-shirt. Problem is, I am losing baby weight. I don't know if you can tell from my previous podcasts or not, but anyways, I've lost weight. Sorry, every time I scratch my head, then this is off and it feels weird on my forehead. Yeah, so it's too big. It will be too big, and I won't wear it if it's ginormous. I don't mind my hoodies being a little bit big, but this will end up being very big. So, I'm going to wash it and dry it. It's out of the Barocco remix, so you can wash it and dry it. I'm going to wash and dry it and see what happens. If it shrinks up a little bit, then I will add the hood. If it doesn't, then I will pull it out. I know, because I have so much knitting time. Remember? I will have to pull it out to like here and reknit it. That doesn't sound incredibly fun, but at the same time, I really love this yarn. I really love the pattern. I want to wear this. And I would rather reknit it and have something I can wear than be stubborn and not reknit it and then just have it sitting here. Like that's pointless to me. That doesn't make sense. So stay tuned. I've been saying I was going to wash it for about 3 weeks. 2 weeks? I don't know. I finished it not too long after I podcasted last time. So I will get around to washing it. It's not high on my priority list right now. So we have Christmas break coming up with the kids, and because of them being in the modified year-round schedule, they're out for 3 weeks. So I'll be able to do it then. So anyway, there's that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's all the finished things I have. So I know I usually do works in progress first, but those were kind of on top of my works in progress. So now we'll switch gears and go to works in progress. Earlier this year, if you remember, I crocheted a through the back loopdus. That's a crocheted version of the Bactus scarf. And I love it muchly, and decided to make another one just for fun. I don't work on it a lot. I've been doing kind of, when I get up in the morning and the girls are getting ready, I do 2 or 3 rows while I'm sitting here before they really need me to do anything or remind them to do anything. So I have this much so far. I love that right here the red and black make a circle. I love what crochet does in to variegated yarn. Not always, but in this pattern I do. Because it's a series of, it's just half double crochets, and so you use up the color really fast. So instead of being, stretched out like it would be in knitting, it's clumped together, and so it's fun to watch the pooling happen. Like right here, how it does the zigzagging and then it goes into the circle, and so as you increase stitches, obviously the pooling changes, and it's fun to see it on the screen because you can see it better than when I'm looking at it, up close. This yarn is from the Sassy Sheep. It's her Saki Sheep base. We were kind of messing around with some colors when I was there in January, when I was helping her dye stuff up for Stitches West. And this is the skein that had the yellow that I didn't like as much, and but there was no reason not to use it. And I mean, it's fine. I like it fine. It's just the whole idea was for like the look of a flame, so black, then red, then orange, then yellow, and we weren't sure which yellow would look best, so we did one skein of each, and this was the yellow that didn't look as good, but I still like it. And yeah, and it's nice and soft and squishy, which is nice. Here it is in the yarn cake. This is a hook size F, 4.0 millimeter. You can't see that, but anyway, it's just a clover bamboo hook. Which what I don't understand is their bamboo knitting needles suck. I mean, like, seriously, they don't have a coating on them. They're just like raw wood, and they're horrible. And these have this nice finish on them and a nice pointy tip, and they're really nice to work with. I don't know. It's the only one. It's the only one I have, but I like it. And anyway, whatever. Oh, while I'm showing this, I got a new bag. I don't know if you remember the box bag I showed, or the cube, I should say. I don't know, a few months ago now. Well, I got one of my very own. I love this. I love it, love it, love it. It is from my friend Priscilla, and she is Madsen Originals on Etsy. Madsen with an S-E-N. And she makes these beautiful cube bags, and here's the inside, just a nice light blue splotchy. It is a 5 by 5 by 5 cube. I've said cube like 3 times now. And it fits small projects quite well. It's very deceiving how much you can fit in here. Like, I have plenty of extra room for when this gets bigger. It would be great for socks or a shawlette or anything like that. Love this bag. You can also, if you want to carry it while you're knitting, you can just leave this little bit open. And I haven't had my yarn catch on the zipper or anything. I haven't had any problems with that. So check her out. Order one of these. Tell her I sent you. All right, moving on. I think I only have one other thing. Nope, two things. This is a test knit for Megan of Stockinette Zombies. It doesn't look like much because I just had to rip out the pattern part this morning because I think there's one little part that in the instructions that maybe needs to be tweaked, and I'm in the process of writing an email to her about that. But anyways, this is her. She's calling it Static Zing. Like I said, I pulled out the patterning part, so there's the toe. This is some yarn that was actually gifted to me this last week, and it is very much a Halloween colorway. It is Vesper yarn in, oh, whoops, that's just a post-it note that says A, so that I know which yarn is my A yarn. Did I not? I thought I kept the tag. It's Vesper, and it's called, I think it's just called Trick or Treat. It's 100% superwash, and I'm actually doing it on size 0s because the patterning has quite a bit of purling in it, and I purl looser than I knit, and you'll see more next time, but there you go so far. And what you do is you actually use two balls of the same finger. You take a skein, break it in half, and then you have you offset the colors. So anyway, there's that. And I know it's a Halloween colorway, and I don't even care. I love it. So I love orange. You guys know that, and I don't even care. I was going to use the one Christmas skein that I had that's, excuse me. Anyways, it's a really pretty colorway from Lisa. That's the Father Time, but the brown and the red are a little bit too close in color, and I don't think they would offset each other enough, but I might be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but that's all right. This is what I'm using. This is in one of my 31 zipper pouches. That's all I have on the needles, but I do have a few. No, it's not. I told you to. Good grief. I even have it sitting right here somewhere over the rainbow, which is kind of where I feel like I am right now. Okay. This is a very basic beanie for my aunt. She bought the yarn and asked me to make her. Yeah. Yes. And she asked me to make her a beanie. Yeah, I know. So she's wanting to put a bead applique of some sort on it. So what I decided to do was make it extra tall. I did a 2x2 ribbing here, and then I went up to a 6x2 ribbing for the hat. Okay, shh, Queenie. Are you telling him too? Yeah. Are you talking about it? Yeah. Go. All right. I wanted her to be able to turn the brim up so that way she has something to attach the applique to. And she said that she has a small head, so I wanted to do ribbing so that it would conform. I'm doing the top decreases. I'm just kind of making it up as I go. Okay. I think I cast on like 84. I cast on 84 and then went up to 88 for the body of the hat. Anyway, I'm almost done. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say. I did it on size 6s because of the ribbing, which is a 4mm. And this yarn is Kramer Perfection, which is a wool acrylic blend, so totally machine washable, which is nice, and it's just a navy blue. Nothing fancy. So, yeah, no spinning, no designing except for that cowl. Moving on to acquisitions, because I have this in my hand. I put in a Knit Picks order when they were having a big sale, and I needed some size 6 16-inch needles, so I got some of their Caspian needles. I've never used any of their, well, for a few stitches, like I borrowed somebody's one time, but I haven't really used them a lot, and they're fine. Like I said, I needed some 16-inch, and they're made from wood that is actually the same as the handmade ones that I have. Obviously, it's a little different with the finishing and whatnot, but they're doing their purpose, and that's what I needed. And the color's pretty. It's the blue and green, and I know it's not focusing, but that's okay. So there's those. The rest of my order is this bag of Brightness. They came out last summer, or this, well, I guess in the spring, with the Stroll Brights. And I loved them, and then when I went to order them, they had taken them out of the shop. And I was irritated, along with a lot of other people who left a lot of comments saying, hey, you just lost a whole bunch of money from me because I was going to buy this and you got rid of it. So they had a big sale. Was it the week after Thanksgiving, maybe? I want to say it was the week after Thanksgiving. And they brought them back. So I'm wanting to make some literally over the top tops. Literally over the top by Megan Williams. And so I got colors for all the girls, and I didn't order any for myself because I already have some for me, but this is going to be for Quinn. They said it was a coral color. I could tell on my screen that it was orange. Like, it's so very orange. It's Snapdragon. It's pretty. I knew it was orange when I ordered it, but I was like, I hope nobody ordered it thinking they were getting like coral pink because it's not even close. So this is for Quinn. And then this purple one is Vibrant Violet, and that's going to be for Cayenne. And I have multiples of these. I'm just showing you the colors. And this awesome pucker is pink, hot pink, kind of for Anansi. And then I did order some for myself. I am going to be teaching a class on the Crazy Stripes tea. And mine is going to be, the blue is razzleberry and the green is sour apple. So I will be making my Crazy Stripes tea out of these two awesome colors. So anyway, with all of those sweater shirt quantities, I got this bag of bright happiness. So so there's that. I don't think I had this last time. This is from Fiber Nymph, as you can see. This is her American Legend colorway, and it's variegated. My uncle, the one who's married to my aunt that I'm making the hat for, he saw my what pattern is it? Easy Gator? I don't know, something like that. Pattern. He saw one that one of my kids put on, and he's like, "Oh, I need one of those when I'm riding." Well, he rides a Harley, and that's what this colorway is named for. So I said, I know the perfect yarn, and so he gave me the money to order it, and I contacted Lisa and said, hey, is there any chance that you could do this as variegated? And she never had before. So that's what I have. This is, woo, her cozy base. I don't know if I said that or not. So it's black, orange, and white, and I will be casting that on as soon as I finish the hat. Normally, I make those, it's just ribbing, 2x2 ribbing for about, I don't know, this far, with a size 8 or a 7 or whatever. I'm going to use a 6. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to use a size 6 because I want it a little bit more dense because he will be wearing it on his motorcycle. So, yeah, there we go. And now I'm going to talk about what Megan from Stockinette Zombies calls her needle adjacent projects. I wanted to show you 3 projects worth of yarn that will be coming up soonly. One of them is a little far over there, so I'm going to show you this one first. I've kind of become obsessed with color work, and it's all Lisa's fault, so thank you, Lisa. I found when looking for patterns for something else, I happened upon the Lucy vest. It's a free pattern, but it calls for like, I don't know, 7 different colors. Well, I didn't have 7 colors, but I was able to round up 4. So I took the color chart and reworked it using the colors that I have. And I would like to show those to you. Let me pull them out here. I have 2 skeins of this gray-ish color. 2 skeins of that. So that's going to be kind of the main, you know, that'll be the ribbing around the bottom and the arms and the neck. And it'll be in the color work as well, but because I have 2 skeins of it. This is all DK weight. And then I had 2 skeins of Tosh DK, which is funny because I don't really buy Madeline Tosh, not because I don't like it, mainly it's the cost, I'm not going to lie. In my opinion, it is expensive for the small amount of yards that you get. So I don't buy it. But I bought this when I was in Minneapolis last year because it's a special colorway, Stephen B. Blue, when I was at Stephen B's. And so it was a souvenir yarn. And this Tosh DK I got when I was at the retreat last year. Knitting in the Mitten. I got this yarn, or this skein. So I have these, And then I have this skein of hand spun that is from Into the World. That's the Starry Night colorway. And so I decided to put it with them as well. So there are my 4 colors. I have plenty of yardage to make the vest. And I'm really, really excited to see how it turns out. That's as far as I've gotten. The other project, the second of 3 that I wanted to show you. Oh, and I wanted to talk about it just a little bit. I know I'm at 45 minutes, but this won't take too long. I don't know if you remember last year I did the knitting game, Knit Along. So much fun. I don't love Mr. Knit Alongs because I've been burned by them. And so I'm leery of them. But I did the knitting game and had a blast. And that same designer, she has a new knitting game that is starting on January 1st. And it is not your average knit along. It's a scarf, a tubular scarf that takes 1,700 yards of a fingering weight. It's going to be something like, I don't know, 10 feet long or something craziness. I don't know. It sounds fun because here's the thing. It goes from January to November. 1 small clue every week for 46 weeks. How cool is that? Like, I don't know. It intrigued me, and the pattern is a little bit on the expensive side. It's a $10 pattern, but she is also putting in a whole bunch of free goodies along the way. In fact, there's one that she says, check your inbox on the morning of December 24th because your first free goodie will be there. You need, I don't remember what she said, like 300 yards of a sport weight or something like that. I need more sport weight. FYI, everything is coming out in sport weight right now, and I think I just need to start creating a stash of sport weight. Anyway, so yeah, lots of free goodies along the way that once the knit along is done, the singular pattern will be available. All of the free patterns that we get along the way will not be available with it, and they will be for purchase separately. So it's really cool. The yarn that I decided to use is my hand spun rainbow that I made last year. Did I finish it in January of this year, maybe? I'm wanting to say. So we have the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. This is some Fiber Nymph Dye Works. She did some 6-ounce sets where it was 1 ounce of each color, and I bought 2 of them. So I ended up, and it's 100% Polworth, I ended up with over 2,100 yards total. 2,140 or something like that. What I'm going to do is cut my skeins. I will not be using in the middle where like the red and orange blended. That way. I won't be using that. I will be making, well, what I'm going to do is contact the designer and ask her, sorry, I'm wanting to say like 3 things all at once. As a designer, when you make something, you then have to pad the yardage requirements a little bit because people's yardage is different. Well, I want to know a little more precisely how much yarn she used, because what I'm going to do is make 6 equal skeins so that I can use the same amount of every skein, and then I'll know how much I have left over, and I can do something fun with that, because it's mostly going to be the middles and all that, and that'll be fun. Anyways, if you want to get on that, I don't know, her username is 3bagsfold, Fulled, on Ravelry. The group is called Criminal Knits. I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to put a link in the show episode thread. I can't promise that I'm going to remember to do that. If I forget and you need it, please respond in that thread and I will post it. But anyway, she writes patterns very well, very clearly. And so there you go. So there's that. The last one, I'm going to lean over here. Alright, this also feeds into acquisitions a bit as well. This is going to be the colors that I use for the Colorwork sweater. The Colorwork vest, that's going to happen eventually, but the Colorwork sweater will happen soon. And this is some Brown Sheep Nature Spun Sport Weight. This is the Coffee Bean colorway, and I will be holding it with Saddle Tan. Not holding it, working with Saddle Tan. And then for the kind of accent color, oh, that's going to glare. I was hoping it wouldn't too bad because there's a big old piece of tape on here, but that's okay. I ordered this from Paradise Fibers. They were having a sale, or they were having free shipping, and anyway, Cyber Monday, I totally cashed in on that. It's called Red Fox. So the three of those together are going to be the Gray Sparrow sweater. Yeah! Okay. Oh. Alright. Oh, do you see the Queenie on there? She can see herself. Hi! She can see herself on the screen. Alright. That is all I have for you. Thank you if you've made it this far. I apologize for the sniffling and hopefully not too much baby noise in the background that you couldn't hear. I really will try to podcast a little more regularly. The next 3 weeks are going to be crazy with the kids off of school, so I really can't promise anything. Maybe I can sneak something in the evening or something after they go to bed on a Friday night or something. But anyways, Merry Christmas. I can promise that I'm not going to podcast before next Thursday. I just know that. Okay, I can't promise. I can tell you with about 99% certainty I won't record before Christmas, but who knows. So I'm going to say Merry Christmas and have a great holiday season with friends and family, and be safe and have fun baking. I didn't even talk about all the stuff I've been baking, making, cooking. So many fun patterns or recipes that have saved my family with me getting a job. If you're interested in hearing about, I've been doing like some freezer meals and make-ahead things and stuff like that. If you're curious about those, please post in the thread that you would like to know about them, and I will post links for you. So anyways, yes, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, happy, fun, family, festive time. Stay warm, and until next time, keep knitting. Bye.